What's going on, guys? So I'm starting to pull out some stuff for the Suburban. I pulled out the third row seats, which are here. Clean them up. They just basically pull out. There's a ton of videos on that, so I didn't bother filming that. Now I'm gonna take out the back seats, which doesn't look like it's bad. It's gonna be big bolts. I'll show you. So this is the back seats. I've got them flipped down. There's 1, 2, 3 bolts for this side. Then there's going to be some stuff in front of that here, but it's pretty much all straightforward. I'll unbolt everything and remove it. Okay, so I've gotten rid of the seats and took them to the dump. And while at the dump, I was looking for wood, 2x4s and stuff. And so let me show you what I've got, and I'll show you how lucky I am and how it fits in the Suburban. Okay, so this is some of the wood that I got from the dump. I know some of those I'm gonna have to chop the tops off, but they're still pretty good pieces of wood, and some 2x4s that are all the same length, which is nice. 2 sinks. I found the small sink first, which is good for space saving, but the big sink, I like that it's double barreled because you don't have to use it. You can always just put a butcher block top over it, like either side, and use it as storage for utensils and whatever, stuff that you don't necessarily have a drawer for. So I'm not upset about that. It's big, it's 33 wide by 22 deep, but I put it where it's supposed to go, and it actually fits kind of nice, so I think I may use it. This side, there's a little dent in the rim, so that will probably be the side. I thought that I could use this left side to, I could use this side for propane and run my propane that way, but we'll see. Nonetheless, I've got a sink. They came with faucets, which is kind of cool, and it's, again, free. It's all from a dump. Some plywood I just thought I'll make shelving out of. An old desk made out of rustic wood. I thought that's kind of cool if I want to do something craftsy. A little corner piece that I found. I found this pallet of some sort that I was like, all right, let's see if this even fits in my car. And let me show you how it fits. So it fits perfectly in the back of the Suburban. Like side to side, there's no play, it slides in. It's on these 4x4s or 3x3s, whatever they are, and so it has a little bit of elevation underneath. I would like it to be higher. When I sit on it, it's like I can sit full height in it, almost, but I have no storage. So I have to decide whether I want to make drawers that are that small and long or lift this up. So that's kind of what I'm debating now. I think I'm going to lift it up because when living in a vehicle, space is needed, and I can always sit in my front seats, but we'll see. Okay, I decided that the bed is too low, that I want storage, overhead space, because I can sit in my front seat. So I've raised the bed, the platform that you saw, 10 inches. Here's what it looks like. Here it is. 10 inches. Just cut some pieces of wood. Now, in the passenger area, the floor is lower. So these are longer. These are 18 inches. But yeah. So I have more space here, and then you can see the floor goes up. All in all, pretty good. Very stable. I put these holes in here with a Craig jig, and I did a couple on each side for the back ones, and then the front ones I went all the way around just because they're, you know, it's a taller leg, so I made those holes. But it's pretty stable. Can't really complain. Doesn't have a whole lot of wiggle room back there. I left these rails on the sides on it because I thought it gives me a nice lip to build over this little shoulder that covers the wheel wells. So I know some people were saying eliminate these because there's space. Behind this one particularly, there's a 12-volt socket here, which when I have auxiliary power, I'll do that. Wire it to it maybe. But behind this is the blower motor for the rear, where I have these AC things. So my goal is to rewire this eventually so that it's on my auxiliary power, so I can just have air circulating without needing a fan through my roof. I'm still considering it, but if I can get those wired and the motor doesn't drain batteries too quickly, I'll do that. It has storage for like a jack and some little doodads, so I'm gonna try and figure out a way so that I can access this little pocket here, because that's a nice little thing, and maybe I can make that like a little safe. And then additionally, this is kind of cool, where this pops out, and that's where my jack is. So that's kind of nice too, to have that some secret spaces in the van in case. So this is the beam essentially that I'm, sorry about that, that I'm putting to support. And so this beam will be drilled down here, but then the windowsill there, I'm going to put a piece of wood on and drill straight down into that. So it'll have a solid piece of wood to anchor it at least to the side of the vehicle. So when I turn left or right, the vehicle doesn't have all the weight on these joints here. Okay, I've been working on the shelves and not bad. I made a rough stencil tool with just a piece of wood, so everything's off by a little bit, but you know what? That's okay. So essentially, I screwed a piece of wood into my bed frame, and it goes floor to ceiling, and then same thing there. And then I just made these cutouts, these pieces of plywood, out of my stencil so that they kind of fit in there nice. You can see it's not a perfect fit, and there's some gaps here and there, but that's all okay. I'm not really worried about it. It fits pretty well, and then so shelving will fit across here, one there, and one 7 inches higher there, and so I'll have 2 shelves, really 3, because this will be 1, then there'll be 2, then there'll be 3. So I'll have 3 shelves on each side, and that'll work pretty well. Rough dimensions are at the widest spot down at the bottom, this is about 12 inches, and then up here this is closer to 6 inches. So not a bad little storage space, a good way to utilize vertical space. I'm not going to put a piece of wood over the foam because I'm putting fabric on it, so it's going to look pretty nice, and structurally it'll be sound. Maybe a support in the middle depending on how much food and how much weight I put on this, but one step at a time. So then this is my next window. All right. Okay, so this is the shelving unit that I created. Pretty simple, and then I'll cover the face with something to keep them in. They don't look, I know it looks like they're slanted, but the pieces of wood on the ends are just different sizes, so they'll be level in the car. Well, I'm just sitting in the back of my Suburban, admiring my work, which is not that great as I look at it. You know, I don't have a level, so things aren't level. But you know what? That's okay. It's good. Everything that I've made this out of is free and recycled, so I feel good about it. And it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. I like that. Yeah. I think sometimes striving for perfection causes too much stress. Or not, and not that stress is bad, but I'm happy with it. Sometimes it's okay to be where you are. Let me show you. Wish there was a way for me to zoom out, but that's it. So there's shelves, 2 shelves. And there it goes in the back. And it'll get purdied up with finished wood and stuff. This is just what I have now. These are like a lip, so that cans won't fall out. So there's just a little bit of a lip. And yeah, but I'll put a big finishing. I thought about putting like a piece that covers the whole thing and just cutting some portholes out of it, and I may do that, but this was all free. I don't have to buy anything, so I'm just gonna try and roll with free material as long as I can and continue. So this is the sink area that I was talking about earlier. The sink's there, sitting in the ground, but I think I may do that just for a change of pace, and I'm out of the wood. I don't have enough wood to do this again. It's got sides on it, you know? It's not bad. I gotta take it back out so I can cover that piece of foam. Yeah. Okay, first and foremost, I need to get better at documenting everything I do, because you can tell from beards and shots that I'm all over. So I'm currently sitting in a Starbucks, which is why I'm kind of whispering, making this video. So I created the shelf, and then I covered the windows and the foam. It's just pretty simple. You cut it out to size, spray glue it on, and put them in the window. I only made a shelf on one side of the van because I didn't think that I would want it on both sides, because it would start to feel kind of claustrophobic or kind of coming in on me, so I went with just one side, and I like that. It was a good decision. I kept the bed height that it was at, that elevated 10 inches, but I'm having some issues with it because it's kind of a pain to get in and out of and change it, but it's doing a really good job of making it comfortable when it's warm. I need to get rid of more stuff. Oddly, God, I have so much stuff. So I'll insert some stuff to show you what I'm working with. I also decided to ex-nay the sink because it just wasn't practical to have it inside. Number one, it takes up space that I found out that I need for clothing and stuff. God, I hate stuff. And then number two, the water, the propane, all of that was just taking up room that I really didn't have to spare. So if I'm gonna have a kitchen, which I'll see, I'll put it on the back on the hitch. There's like a cargo hitch that's kind of a square thing that I'll build a box on, and then just cooking out of that. Just make it look really simple, like it could just be for storage or something, and see what happens. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Next episode, I'm going to go over what the Suburban looks like right now, and there's like a pretty humorous spider attack that I'm also going to put in there. So look for that video in the next couple of days. Yeah, I have a pretty big trip planned. It's 10 days of traveling to Zion, Las Vegas, Joshua Tree, Los Angeles, San Diego, and then maybe dipping down into Mexico. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys.